This is Snow-Calypse, episode 11 of Old Man's Land, a Farming Simulator 19 gameplay by Sawmill. We start the day out with good intentions to clean up the rest of the cut down trees and consider filling the rest of the day with selling silage. The first stop though is the Sawmill an investor built in the valley and that is looking for an operator. We start cleaning up the cut down trees, but the gameplay takes a turn towards being not fun. After struggling with keeping the tractor under control, disabling some of the snow options make the game actually playable again. We stage the wood at the sawmill as we don't have an operator to run it, or at least that is the plan. And then the farm simulator physics say hello and drop a tree through the trailer. Twice. We did not get nearly as much done as we liked, but have the more material for shorts. Good morning, Old Man's Land. Today is Thursday, midwinter. It is currently 8:45 and minus 7 degrees Celsius. Today's weather forecast is overcast in the morning with some snow moving in around lunch. Temperatures are rising from minus 7 in the morning to minus 3 in the evening. The outlook for tomorrow is above freezing and overcast. Have a wonderful day. Okay, so let's get started. We need to get our wood sorted out, our trees sorted out, and also getting the trees cut down in the to-be-created fields. We also, if we have the time, need to check into what we need to do with the newly acquired parcel of land, if we need to cut down trees in there as well. But before we get to this, I want to take you on a quick ride because we had last night something exciting happening. No, crashing into the bunker silo is not part of what was exciting. This is what is exciting. We have a sawmill or lumber mill, depending on where in the world you are, how you're calling it. Move in. It is currently available for a subscriber owner. I can't do members yet, so it's a subscriber owner. If you would like to take responsibility for this lumber mill or sawmill, let me know. There is a blog post on the YouTube community tab. Apply by replying to that, and we will see who is going to be the new future owner of this sawmill. You're going to be having your name displayed on that digital display that is there, and you're going to be the owner from then on until you give up ownership. That is. So now that we have sorted this out, let's park you again. And this also means we don't need to use our log puller because we're going to be moving the large logs over there. The small logs I'm going to be still putting into the wood crusher, but the large logs are going to be going into the lumber mill. I actually have to check with the smaller logs what is making sense financially more, doing it in the wood crusher or in the lumber mill. We own the wood crusher, so for now I'm just going to be assuming the smaller ones give us more when running them into the wood crusher than the lumber mill. The game is getting very laggy. I think the problem is actually, what is it? Is it the snow? Or too many components that are kicking around? I restarted the game already because of it. It was really bad earlier. Might be the snow that we actually need to drive through. Yeah, I'm experiencing quite a bit of lag. I think it's the depth of the snow that is causing it, because we have to move so many entities. So one thing that I want to do is actually turn the trailer around with the hedge towards the farm, because that is where the big ends, the bigger ends of the tree stems are going to be laying. It was the same for earlier. I need to be very careful here, because the controls are reacting very, very laggy. That is not fun. I'm going to be calling out what I'm actually doing on the keyboard, that you guys can see how laggy the controls are. Reverse, reverse, and off. Okay, reverse, reverse, and off, and forward, and off, and forward, off. I can't complete it. That is annoying, annoying. I'm going forward. I'm going forward. Forward, forward, forward. Ah. Right, backward, 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 backward. I'm going backward. I don't put any steering in there. I'm going backward. Or I'm trying to. What? Okay, I'm trying to go forward. Okay, I stopped trying to do anything. I have to keep hands off the keyboard. I'm not doing anything. That's how laggy it is. This is ridiculous. Stop. I'm not. I've got the hands off the keyboard. I'm not doing anything. Okay, that is very frustrating. Anybody knows why this is? I assume it is because of the snow. Because everything that we're moving, we are displacing snow on the ground. And it's just so much that the game engine is completely overloaded. And now you're throwing the log out. If you guys have suggestions on how to deal with that, I would really love to hear that. I have never encountered it to this extreme. Did this tree just fall through the trailer? Okay. Okay guys, this is not making any sense. I'm going to be, at least for this year, can I turn snow off? Because this is not making any sense. Okay, let's do the snow tracks off. Let's try that before I'm turning off snow completely. That. I have the impression it is better, somewhat. No. Still can't control it. I have no idea how I'm going to be getting that 3 out from underneath. Jean-Luc stopped by last night. There is some escalation happening in the valley to the west. There have been additional arsons. All doubt that this could be accidental has been eliminated within all involved on the side of the authorities. Jean-Luc stopped by to ask our farmer to stay vigilant. Our farmer used the opportunity to talk to Jean-Luc. He was curious about two things. These fires seem to bother Julie very much. Why is that? Jean-Luc's answer was a bit deflective. But what he said is that Julie's dad was the local fire chief and died in a fire-related incident while Julie was young. Not young enough to not remember and not old enough to be able to cope with it in a deliberate way. Julie was being raised by her father alone, so she lost her only parent. This event is written into her DNA. It defines her more than any other event in her life. So yes, these fires are personal for her, very much so. Jean-Luc did not take the bait to disclose more about how Julie's dad died. This seems to become a theme here in this area, that people get cagey around this topic. What Jean-Luc did share, though, is that he himself stepped in and took the young Julie under his wing and raised her as his own. And now a lot is starting to make sense. Jean-Luc looks out for Julie because he considers her to be his daughter. Jean-Luc also had a couple things to clear up. No, our farmer is not interested in quick flings. No, our farmer has no previous marriage or children. Yes, there were a couple of serious relationships, but none right now. No, he is not yet sure about where this is going with Julie. He has no plans, and lets it develop. No, he is not planning to get back into the tech world anytime soon, but he has an idea he wants to experiment with. If Jean-Luc knows an electronics enthusiast. I'm kind of wondering if it would be faster just to pull them over. Looks like the problem was the snow, the thick snow layers. That's unfortunate, because it kind of takes away a lot of the realism if I don't get the multiple snow layers and the proper snow tracks in. I just hate it when the logbook is doing this. Okay, somewhat saved. I actually can push the trailer off that log. And as you see, we are again with the log frog completely screwed over and the clamp actually completely reversed. There it flips. Come on. What the? So if we would be going for more forestry, I definitely would need to look into a different way of loading actually. Because this is just embarrassingly ridiculous. Comical. Literally. Let me double check this. This just looks like it is sitting diagonally. I have a feeling that these Nokian tires don't help much with the grip. Usually, or in real world, Nokian tires are actually great for winter. Don't mind the dogs. That is our living doorbell. It was the Amazon driver just pulled up. No, not making advertisement for Amazon here. It's not a paid promotion. I'm going to be checking if using different tires makes a difference. And the weather forecast was right. It's around lunchtime and it's snowing. One funny thing is, with all that is going on in this episode of this funny forestry fails, is frustrating they are right now. This is going to be terrific shorts material. It simply is what it is. Okay. So two observations here. The Nokian are tires are bad for winter compared to these twins here. And these twins are just making you jump over all the tree stumps. Watch, even the smaller ones. They just make you jump over them. But the traction is much better. Okay, I guess we can call this trailer loaded up. You know what? Let's just empty it. Yes, we've got everything tied down. Let's try to not tip it over and not lose control. Interesting. At least it's still upright. I don't need to connect the forestry module. I need to put you aside for now. Disconnect this trailer. That's an interesting way of moving logs. I'm making a total mess today with everything. And we did go flying again. Yes, we'd have to cut down a lot of trees. Okay, so we have that done, and this means, do we just cut them down? You know what? We leave you here, and then take you with us. Actually, why can't I run with you? Seriously? This is just ridiculous. Because I can't control actually a fork without switching between everything all the time. That does just not make sense. Today we need to talk about how we humans work, or more precise, how we process information. To understand bias is to understand how we see and process the world. And to get an insight there, we need to better understand how we work. I want to use an example, as this is a living, breathing person. I will not be using names or any other information that could be used to identify this person. Fairly recently, through the Discord server of a channel I watch, I met a person recently released out of a correctional facility. This person is actually making a change in their life because of this life alerting experience. This here is already enough to base what I want to describe on. I like to see a human, especially myself, as three persona. There is past self, current self, and future self. You can't change past self. This is all that you experienced, all decisions you made, everything that happened to you, everything you did, everything you learned, every experience formed and galvanized into this one person. You can't change this as it's in the past, beyond our reach. But you have to live with it as it is what makes you you. It is your experiences, and because of that, the fabric how you initially and instinctively react on anything that comes your way as present self. You need to be aware of this, as this is the filter through which you perceive the world. The filter through which you make sense of the constant flow of information coming at you. Your present self is the only one you can actively control. It's the only one that can induce change. It's the only one that can override how your immediate reaction to the world shall be interpreted differently. To become a different person, to make change, you can only effect it in your present self. You can't change your past, and the only way to influence the future self is by changing your experiences. To change your ways, to change trajectory, to change how you have done up to now, it's a constant, conscious and deliberate effort to your present self. Coming back to the individual I talked about earlier, this person does exactly this. It's not simple. It's not the easy way. It's the only way to change. In the end, these are the three personas that count. Your present self, the only one you can influence and introduce something different. Your past self, this tells you where you are coming from and is the accumulation of your experience and the collection of your values. Your future self, this is whom you attempt to become. Your present self is the change agent to transform your past self into your future self. The only two personas of importance for your present self are your past self and your future self. You want to be better than your past self, and you are accountable to your future self. Will your future self approve of the actions, reactions, inactions you took as the present self? Your past self is the one that you want to be better as. So that is the only persona that you're actually in competition with. Your future self is whom you're accountable to, because your future self is going to be the judge if your present self did good. Now, how does this relate to the conversation in regards to bias in AI? Simple. To understand how and why humans always look at the world biased is to understand how we look at the world. I will do this already. thunderstorm snowfall. Now there's something that you don't have every day. There's this one. That is wild. A wild mess out here. You know what? Let's tie it down. Empty it out. You don't have access to this land. Of course, I can't cut it here because it's not my land. Okay, that is now looking strange. You gotta be shitting me. I really need to get a good view of that. That I can use that for a proper shot. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to be doing one thing here. I have to sell here so that I actually can pull this trailer in here and sell this log from under it because I can't get it out. It's not what I had intended to do because, like I said, so far we don't have anybody operating this sawmill. So that is... And we have not agreed on, are we going to be able to sell with nobody operating it for now or not? So you guys let me know in the comments. It's 16:37, so we definitely are. We have this one cleaned out. We have a few trees in here. We have a few trees in here that we need to take care of. Then we have to look over there. It doesn't look like we have the lights on yet. Oh, I need it on this side. Seriously. That's too heavy. nothing in here. We have these two. You know what? I've got 2 thick fingers today. What the heck? Okay, why can't I do anything anymore? Okay, let's call it a night then. So, as for the silage, that is pretty sure completely fermented. Yes, of course it is. We can sell that as we get around to it. We first needed to have these trees out of the way so that we actually can that we can create our fields. Let's see if I can. Yes, I can turn on the lights. So that we actually can enjoy our porch in a nice wintry evening. So we got some stuff done today. Not as much as we would have liked to, of course, like always. We got our 2 new fields, or 2 extension of fields, of existing fields. We got that figured out and put in. And I'm going to be getting a regular roller tomorrow, in-game tomorrow, and create that path between into our current field 3, that we are dividing it into field 3 and 4, because I still have not found yet a mod that actually allows me to in-game change the surface. So yes, I know I can do it in the landscaping tool, but I wanted to do it in the in-game. So, as I don't have that, I'm going to be getting a roller to restore the grass that is going to be the divide between our field 3 and 4. And then, if conditions permit, tomorrow and the ground is no longer frozen, we actually can start creating our field. Also, it's still winter tomorrow, so we are going to be not able to plant anything as of yet. The other thing that we want to look at, that we didn't get around today, is actually for the new parcel of land that we bought as a surprise a couple episodes ago. We need to look into that. Where do we put the fields in there? I can pull up the map. I want to extend this field number 2 along the roadway down here and just to the parcel edges as we are right now. It's going to be going down all down the road here to about right here where the stones are. So that is going to be our future field 2. So we're going to be extending it to where we are right now, and I think there are still a couple trees in there that we need to take care of. Our field 3 up here. So this is the roadway that actually I want to extend here. There's our roadway extension, and I want to restore this one here. So our field 3 here we actually can extend out here. We have field 4 cleaned up, field 1, all this what we actually need to do here is cleaned up. So we are good there, but we need to look into these 2 parcels tomorrow. And if there is not much to do, then we are going to be selling off our silage. And talking about silage, our oats are relatively expensive, a relatively high price. So 1100, if I'm not completely wrong, then oats, yeah, we are at a very high price. Should we quickly sell off our oats? No, it's $11,000. We are fine. We are fine. Okay, so with that, I also don't want to do extreme overtime. So with this, the barbecue is sizzling. Thanks for sticking around with me and enjoying, I hope you enjoyed the struggle with the snow, the struggle with the controlling of the tractor with all the snow tracks. It is fairly reasonable now with, we should turn on the radio. It's fairly reasonable now with snow tracks turned off and only 1 layer of snow allowed on the ground. So, lesson learned here. And a lot of snow that is coming down is creating just too much lag in the game engine. I don't think it was a problem with the performance of the computer. It was a problem with the many entities in the game engine, simply because this is a relatively large map and there's a lot going on. So, lesson learned, turn back your snow settings and it gets fairly reasonable. Nonetheless, as frustrating and as infuriating it was at times during the gameplay, we definitely have material for shorts. So look out for them. See you around tomorrow. You have a subscribe button coming up right now, as well as a link to the complete playlist. So if you haven't checked out the previous episode so far, there is your link. Thanks for sticking around. This is Old Man's Land, episode 11. We need a name for this one. A Savvy's Farm gameplay on Farming Simulator 19. And we need a name for this episode. Has something to do with the snow. Either snow or too much snow. Nah, that's not fun. That's not fun. Snow-Calypse. That is what we're going to be calling it. Peace.